Hey guys, this is Kelly. Mari and I are back with another challenge, and this week we are using the mood board that I just had posted. And there were several things that I took away from the mood board, and I will talk to you about those in just a second. What I am doing is going through the papers from the Ellie Studio 6x6 paper pack that I have, and I'm going to go through the snow and cocoa as well. And what I'm doing is just choosing some of the pinks and aquas and any of the patterns that I think will look nice behind the trees. And I end up just using the snow and cocoa papers, although I fully intended on mixing them. It just was what worked, I thought. So the things that I am going to choose from the board are the mood board had several different types of Christmas trees, and so I thought that that would be a perfect theme, especially since it is a Christmas mood board. And the file that I am using is a Felicity Jane cut file that is in the Silhouette store. I saw on, I think, the Facebook group, one of the design team members use the cut file as a background, and I already knew that, with the mood board and the challenge that I was using in the photo, that I really wanted to use the background. So the background did need to be altered a bit. Just in my silhouette, I took the single tree. There's a background that's a little bit different. It's more organic, and I just took the single tree and then I copied it and pasted it and then welded it as a background. So anyway, I did not make you watch me trace all of the trees and then back it, because that did take a while. There really wasn't a rhyme or reason as to where I put the trees, just as long as no two patterns were right beside each other. And then I did leave some white as well, or just basically empty, so you could see the white cardstock behind it. Again, that was one of the things that I liked about the mood board, and I just thought that it would make a nice, clean, bright page. So this is a craft bag that I have had in my stash. I'm not sure who makes it. I know that I wanted to have some journaling on this page, and I'm going to have to tuck it in because I don't want to cover up all the pretty trees. And using a bag or an envelope is a perfect way to add some journaling to your layout. So at some point I'm going to get out a tag, and I'm actually going to have to get my husband involved with the journaling, because this tree is something that he made as a child. And we found this when we were cleaning out his mother's house after she died, and she had this in the attic, and it was just amazing that she kept it for all these years. So we kept it for a few years, and then it just really started falling apart. And I told him that, before we got rid of it, I wanted to take a picture of it just so that we could remember it. And he thought it was neat, but has no idea that I'm doing this layout. So I'm going to show him this layout actually tonight and get his perspective on the journaling, just because I know that he knows about how old he was. And I'm going to just put the journaling on the tag and stick it in the envelope so that it will be remembered. And that, my friends, is what scrapbooking really is about. The heart of scrapbooking is telling these stories. Now, don't get me wrong. I have said before that I love to play with pretty papers and pretty embellishments. Scrapbooking is my therapy. It helps me just deal with life. And, I just enjoy this hobby so much. But when I finished this page, I just can't even tell you how happy I was with it, because I know that this sweet little story is going to be recorded and it's in our albums, and we can pull it out and look at it. Okay, so off my soapbox. Let me tell you about some more of the embellishments that I'm pulling in. These are freckled fawn, not enamel, I guess they're more like enamel stickers that I'm pulling out. And I also had some of their label stickers and they're gold hearts that I just recently received. And that turquoise bow is from American Crafts. And that pink flare button that says Joy is from Pretty Little Studio. I also have a few of the sticker embellishments from the Snow and Cocoa line, and I'm just using some of those word stickers and just playing around with it. I'm not ready to stick these down yet because I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I want to embellish the page. I know that I want to keep my embellishment to a minimum, but I know that I do want to do a little bit. And looking back at the mood board, the scenes of the rooms were very clean, and that was the overall feel that I was trying to do with this page, except for obviously have the pops of color. So these alphas are some of my absolute favorite, and I am getting down to the bare bones. I have enough to spell "Oh Christmas Tree," but I don't have enough lowercase letters. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and lightly put them on the page to see what I'm missing. And then I am going to go back and intersperse some capital letters in the words so that it is just more of a whimsical title, and it allows me to use the alphas. That is just an easy way for you to stretch your alphas, is, especially when you are down to the last vowels, and I don't have any more lowercase e's except for the one that I am getting ready to switch out. So after this title, all of my lowercase e's are used, which is fine. It just means that I have used these alphas, and that's a good thing. So I know ahead of time that I'm going to have to go back with my quick dry adhesive and stick these down. So that's another reason I didn't bother to put them on the wax paper. And when I was looking at this, I realized that I really wanted to back this 12 by 12 white cardstock. I felt like it needed a frame, and I did not want to make it any darker, so I do have a few of the 12 by 12 sheets from the Snow and Cocoa line. So I pulled in this, it's like the turquoise faint print that reads almost as a solid, and I'm going to use that to back my layout with. So here's where I'm trying to get my placement of the letters. This font cannot be stuck on a complete straight line because the letters have descenders and like little loops and things like that. And the fact that I'm using some uppercase and lowercase, it just makes it a more legible font if I can alter the placement of a few of those. So that's what I did by using my ruler, and I'm going to go back again. I'm trying to find the center of the page, and I haven't stuck down anything yet, but so I'm going to go ahead, and before I did that though, I realized that I wanted to pop up this background. I wanted to do it with another background recently that I did. I can't remember which page right offhand, but I felt like it was a little bit too much, and so I didn't do it. So with this layout, I thought I'm going to do it. It's something I've been wanting to do, and I took out these pop dots that I've had in my stash, but they're just too darn big. So I'm not going to make you watch me cut little bits of the craft foam and put them behind the trees. So at this point, I know that I'm loving the way that the layout is coming together, and I just want to go ahead and get it stuck down so that I can finish the embellishments and just, be done, because I'm loving the way that it's turning out. And you know how sometimes you make layouts and they just really make you happy? This was definitely one of those layouts. So I've got the tag now in that little bag that you can see. And this is the 12 by 12 sheet from Snow and Cocoa that I wanted to use. So I am going to gut it because there is no use wasting all that pretty paper, especially since I didn't do any mixed media on the background. I don't need that extra support for any of the warping that I usually get. So I just spared you watching me change my adhesive. Of course, it always runs out at the most inopportune time. I'm just getting it lined up because, you know, for me, if I don't put the paper down pretty close to even, that's something that my eye sees and it just gravitates to, and it drives me nuts. So I really try to take that extra moment of making sure that it's lined up fairly accurately. So that gold circle label was from Freckled Fawn as well, and I'm just swapping out the hearts, just trying to figure out which is the most appropriate size for that little space, because I wanted to be able to see just a little bit of that layout. And again, just trying to keep in mind as I'm moving the embellishments around that I want it to be pretty minimalistic, and so I end up just using one of those gold hearts, and it's in that lower left-hand cluster by the photo. So I just wanted to take a minute and encourage you to go over and look at Mari's layout as well. I will link her channel in the detail section below, and you can see her take on the mood board. And I want to challenge you, in addition to using our mood board, and getting one of these stories down. I know that each and every one of you has some type of holiday story that can be told. And for me, for this year, it's going to be the story of this little tree. And I'm going to, you know, talk to my husband, and we're going to journal on the tag together so that when we come back and look at this layout, you know, we can read that little bit of journaling. And, you know, it's important to get these stories down. So that is my challenge to you for this year, is to document one of your Christmas stories. So I do have some close-ups at the end, and again, be sure and check out Mari's page, and we will be back in a couple weeks with another challenge. It will be our last challenge of the year. So thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye.